Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast where we raise the bar in order to talk about things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 20th of December. Game week 18 has just been finished and quite a decimated game week it was. But here to help me pick through the remains are my usual podcast partners in crime. Paddy, how are you getting on, my friend?
Great to be here.
Good to have you. Seamus, how are you doing, amigo?
Yeah, doing really good. Happy to be back talking about FPL.
Good. It's actually difficult to wing the intro when the two of you are on. I'm used to either having it somewhat scripted or just one of you or something, and then there I'm like, what do I say instead of repeating myself again? And then I said amigo, and now I feel like I've stepped on some copyright issues.
Yeah, you totally have.
I know.
The amigos will be on to you. Like,
That'll be on my case. But
are we the fucking the new three amigos?
No.
Yeah, there is three of us. You could have got away with it if it was just like a two-man pod and you said amigo, but yeah, I think yours.
This is
cringing there, Jer.
I know. I'm gonna have to start this and just cut this all out. Start the whole show again. No, I'm kidding. It's great to have the two of you here, and it's great to have some bit of FPL to talk about because it was looking kind of dodgy there for a while before the weekend, and they ended up, what did we get, 5 matches in the end? 4, I think, was it?
No, there was 4. Actually, maybe it was 4.
Yeah. I think it was just
totally unprepared here now. I'm just gonna have to go back and see. We had 4. Yeah, 3 on the Sunday and the 1 on the Saturday. How many players did you get out from that, Jer?
I got out a grand 11. Well, I had 11, but Foden didn't play, so 10 is all I got out. What about you, actually?
I ended up rolling with 8. I had 9 out there. I didn't take a hit this week. I just changed my keeper. I brought in Ramsdale, and he just got a lowly 2 points. And I had Foden as well, and ended up only with 8 players. I actually only had 3 forwards or attackers. For the second week in a row, I've played with no strikers.
Yeah, but I mean, you couldn't really blame me. It was just an insane week. Paddy, how many did you get out in the end?
I got out 9. I had no strikers and I had no keeper, so 9.
Yeah. You didn't take any hits either, did you?
No hits. Just made the one change. Getting out Odegaard and.
Yeah. Well, I mean, should we go into that, Paddy? Do you want to talk about the McGinn one?
Well, we can.
We can actually do an analysis of each game this week.
I'm waiting for the recording to come through. I thought it was going to be clipped in here.
No,
but I didn't know the Villa game was off at the time when I made that transfer. But hey, look, you just go with your gut. You know what I mean? That's the rule.
It worked out in the end. Which is all you can really ask for. But I think it seems like I was the only one that you didn't take a hit this week either, Seamus, no?
No. I considered it, but it would have meant the only team I would have kind of gone in for would have been, I mean, I guess you could have said City, but we didn't know what's going to happen with those games. So I said, you know what, Foden and Cancelo is perfect. If I'm getting transfers in, it's going to be an Arsenal player or Leeds, but it wasn't going to be Leeds. Ramsdale seemed obvious. I looked at a defender like White or Tomiyasu. I didn't really look at any of their midfielders because I'm very happy with my midfield. Gallagher wasn't playing, but he has nice kind of games coming up. So I was like, do I really want to sell him when he's got Norwich in a couple of weeks? But now that Spurs game doesn't look as good as it once did. I was thinking back that he ripped Spurs a new one. So yeah, maybe I should have considered Martinelli or Saka or Smith Rowe, but I don't think I would have been able to not live with myself. That's probably a bit too strong a word, but I don't think I'd be able to stare at myself in the mirror if I got Smith Rowe for Gallagher and just dismissed my boy Connor like that,
So you made no hits, Seamus, and I made no hits.
Yeah.
Did anyone take any hits on this podcast this week?
It's funny.
I might have.
It's funny because I think as a pod, I think there was a collective, minus 12 from all 3 of us combined, wasn't there?
Jared took them for all of us.
Someone had to stand up for the show, grow a pair of, cojones, and take a few hits, get a few players out. I was looking down the barrel of 6 starters, and I was after having a pretty miserable game week 17, so that had seen me sink down to to the depths of 45k, and but from 20, it was I doubled my rank. It was it was a horrible rate, and I was feeling a little on tilt. Not very on tilt, and I had a lot of time to think about it, but a little just like, fuck this, I'm going aggressive. I didn't make the changes I would have made last week, which would have been a -4, and it would have been Foden and Watkins, who both got 12 pointers, and I was like, no, just play it cool, don't worry. And that fucking bit me in the ass after game week 17, so lost it a bit in game week 18 and made 4 transfers.
Jesus Christ.
But look, it didn't end up so bad. I got a grand total of 21 points, or 71, 21. I got a grand total of 71 minus the 12 then off it was 59, which saw a green arrow shifting me up a whopping 3,000 places, up to from 45 to 42k, and I don't know. I think I might have got away with one a little bit there. I'm not too sure though.
A lot easier to take those hits when you've only got like what 7, 6, 7, whatever many players, because you're like, there's not that opportunity cost of I could be transferring out someone here who could haul. We've all done that before, where you're like, I don't want to sell this guy because his fixture isn't that bad and he could realistically get a pen or whatever. I think this was a time to do it. The only problem and the only reason I didn't look at doing it, I was surprised to see you do it, Jer, because we're usually very close in our decision making, and the amount of times that we end up making the same transfer on a given game week. But I nowhere considered getting a -8. I was like, I'd rather just go with. I thought I was going with 9, but I ended up with 8 because of the Foden one. But
I think the big difference between me and you this week, Seamus, was that you had made the decision to jump off Ronaldo a couple of weeks ago, or you'd gone without that premium striker, whereas I had that money tied up in my team, and with all the rotations and stuff, I only had the one cannon fodder on the bench, but with all the rotations, I was like, I can't have fucking 12.5 million tied up in one player while this is happening, so. That it made it a bit of a kind of an easier decision to go to try and use the funds, we'll say, to fix a couple of holes in the squad. But I can see why, like, someone with your own team and even Paddy's team, like, both had about 8 players anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, I had 9.
Yeah,
and I made a transfer.
And transferred out McGinn, who had
and I still had 9. But to my defense, right? I was looking at my strikers, and like I'm handcuffed to Antonio. I didn't want to get rid of him. I have Ronaldo. I didn't want to get rid of Ronaldo because I'm waiting for these doubles, and I'm waiting for these fixtures United have, and I didn't want to get rid of Dennis because I liked his fixtures, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to get rid of these strikers. And then I was kind of a bit hungover as well, like I told you, and I just I looked at McGinn and I thought, you know what, get out of there, and I just got Odegaard and doubled up in the Arsenal.
When did you even get McGinn? I didn't even know you had.
Oh, I got because we hadn't been potting. I got him the week previous, so I brought him in the week previous for Villa were playing Norwich.
Yeah.
And I got rid of. I can't even remember who I got rid of, but it felt like the right move time. People were jumping onto Ollie Watkins, and I couldn't go there. And
because you love Antonio so much.
Yeah, exactly. So I went for McGinn Iniesta, and I thought, this is going to be genius. And
yeah,
well, do you know what? Actually, he got 3 points, and the other guy got 0. I think there was a game off or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Antonio. I'm not feeling the love. Yeah. Like when I did jump off Harry Kane and not go to Ronaldo a couple of weeks ago, I considered Antonio. Looked at the stats. I think he'd had 1 shot in his previous 5 games, 1 shot on target at least, in his blocks or wide and stuff like that. And I was like, I just can't go there. Stats don't back it up. And he was kind of poor in the next game, and then the last game was called off. So I'm happy I didn't go there. I went with King, but that hasn't worked out because their games are getting suspended. But I'm hoping that I'll have a few double game weeks coming up. But I think there's something to worry about there, Paddy. You're like looking at, these fixtures are good, those fixtures are good. And I know I said it to an extent with Conor Gallagher as well.
Yeah.
But I think you can't get too ahead with the fixtures because we don't know what's going to happen. Like all these games, I know they had a meeting today, so the games apparently aren't going to be cancelled unless they have, less than X amount of players. I think it's 13 players plus 1 playing goalkeeper. If you have that, you have to field the team.
That seems like, just to touch on that for a second, like that seems like a very low bar. Like, oh well, if you have basically the exact amount of players you need plus two.
Yeah.
Just a couple of subs and a goalkeeper who's already playing. He doesn't have to be like. It just seems like, oh fuck me. Then yeah, of course we'll be able to get a team out. Every team will be able to get a team
Yeah,
out.
but then what will happen? And that's not just out from COVID. That could be people out with suspension. That could be people out with injuries. So you know what's going to happen. There's going to be like, well, this guy's out with illness, not COVID, but he's out with illness. There's if a team is down to like 14 or 15. Which some teams have been. There have been teams that haven't met that bar. But the other thing as well is, if they don't have any playing goalkeepers, then that's you can call that off too. So I don't know.
And another thing, they're not disclosing what players have COVID. So like it's kind of unfair.
Not to us, but they are to the Premier League.
Oh right, okay, I didn't know.
I believe. Well, I just have to disclose that. I think.
Yeah, well, that's where Klopp was asking. Wanted to know what players had COVID. Because Chilwell's injured, and that was saying so that he wouldn't count. They're calling games off for players only that have COVID, but sure, they weren't telling you what players had COVID, so it could be like, oh, he's got an injury, so let's try and get this game called off.
Didn't work too well for Chelsea. They tried to get their game called off, and they were told, nah, and I'm pretty happy with that. 0-0, double clean sheet came my way, and all 3 BAPs for Alonso.
Yeah, which was great
this week in the Chelsea Wolves match.
Didn't like that. I must say. Whatever about
Alonso's killing James since I went to Alonso. He's not. I'm being hyperbolic. He's not killing him, but he is matching him.
Yeah, James did nothing the first couple of weeks. He went like 0-1-0, missed the game. I was like, for Christ's sake! And here's me rushing to get him in. But Alonso then getting the clean sheet last week, the Jamie Gate going off before they lost their clean sheet.
More so the Jamie Gate because before they lost their fucking clean sheet. Because I was fucking, and I know we didn't do pod last week, so we're probably going to end up going backwards a little bit, but I was fuming at that Mount goal James assist. Like, she'll tell you, I was sitting on the couch and I had to get up and take a walk away. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, the fucking one set of players I don't want to combine to do anything. And I was
Did you see that game though? Did you see how many chances
James missed
the sitter? And then Rudiger plays in Mount and he misses from like 2 yards. And then like I think James and Mount combined again. They like the two of them could have had a couple of attacking returns each. And I was just going, how am I like I got like whatever 7 for Mount. I got 8 for James. I was like 15 points. I should have 25 bloody points here. I was actually quite frustrating.
I walked away angry, and then I watched the highlights the next day, and I went, "Oh Jesus, I got lucky with that one." I was like, "Fuck me, that could have been an absolute haul for the two of them."
I haven't seen the 0-0 game with Wolves, but looking at the stats, like I looked at the stats at 80 minutes, and it was like 1 shot from either team. It looked like just a dreadful game. So I said it before the game. I said I haven't had a double clean sheet for Chelsea since like that Leicester game. It was like I would take 0-0, take the 3 points for Mason Mount. Of course, I would have preferred a 1-0 with a Mason Mount goal or something like that. But like Mount's got 2 back-to-back goals for me in my team, so I was saying just give me the 0-0. Was kind of not expecting Alonso to get the 3 BAPs, but whatevs.
We move, as I say. Paddy, you're on the Alonso and James train, so
Cody.
You would have been pretty happy. And Cody, I mean, your whole defense this week absolutely smashed it. Cancelo, Alonso, Cody, James.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more happier with that 0-0. I was watching it and I was like, amazing.
You're missing out on some classic Trent points though, man.
Don't talk. Every time they concede, I'm like, nice one, and then he fucking scores. I swear to God, I'm like, nice one. Then I couldn't believe it. Newcastle scored against them. I was like, nice one, and then they scored again. And did he get an assist for the last goal or the first goal? I can't remember, but I just looked and I think
he got an assist and 3 bonus in this week's game.
Yeah, look, I'm just about getting away with it.
He scored against Newcastle. Yeah.
You're
not getting away with it at all.
I am slightly getting away with it because
because Cody is actually kind of covering your
when I planned to get him, I've been getting away with it. Like I've been just getting away with it. Cody got me, I think, 8 last week as well. So
he did. No, you're right. Cody has been actually fucking doing the biz.
Yeah, 4.5. You heard it here first, guys. Sell Trent, bring in Cody.
Yeah, but he's Trent's up to 8.3 now, isn't he? Like just
look at that money bag for Buck.
Yeah, Trent is 8.3. He's crazy fucking dear.
But he's so good.
But
He's like outscoring Salah. This was been mentioned in a group chat we're in, and I've seen other people mentioning like, oh, I should be captaining or considering Trent for captaincy over Mo. Over the last few weeks, he's outscored him like 3 out of the last 4 weeks, or he's outscored him by 7 points in the last 4. But you got, like I was saying, you can be selective in your stats. You go back to 5 weeks, and then Mo's outscoring Salah by a point. So if you're going to stick with one, then you got to think Mo is maybe going to have a few lesser, weeks where he blanks, and Trent might get his 6 or 8 points, but then Mo's going to have an 18-point, 22-point haul, and like he did against United, and then your head in your hands going, all my work gone.
Like this was the first game week Trent or Salah blanked for the captaincy, I think. First Noel. What was I going to say? Just going rewind right back there to your Antonio, because I think we kind of just segued into everything. Would you not be a little bit jealous now, of Antonio owners like myself, whenever like he's going into this fixture run? Like, do you not think that Norwich, maybe in a double game week, Southampton?
I'm more likely to get Bone, if I'm honest. Yeah, like if I was going to sell someone like Conor Gallagher, that would be for Bowen. I'll be honest, I'm a bit sickened. Like one of the reasons I was excited about having Gallagher was that he's playing Watford last week, and that was it. No, was it Southampton? Whatever game was called off. He played Southampton. Yeah, he missed the Watford game that was pulled. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of a sickener. So I was kind of thinking, maybe I could transfer over to Bowen then from game week 18 on.
Not as sickening as it was for us Antonio owners who were going up against Norwich and waiting for the fight. Waiting for the goals.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't liked. Like he's failing both the eye test and the underlying stats. Antonio. Bowen though, on the other hand, is playing unreal. Like the last game before it was called off, who were they playing?
If I could jump in as someone who also has Antonio.
Okay.
I think I made a mistake getting him in 2 weeks ago. And I say I'm pretty fucking sure I made a mistake getting him in 2 weeks ago. I thought I was being clever. I got rid of him when their fixtures took a dip, and that just kind of started with he had been off form for a bit. I think he had maybe picked up an assist or 1 goal or something in the previous 3 or 4 game weeks. But he'd been off form for a while, and I went, fixtures are getting rough, I'm jumping off, and he didn't do jack shit. Again, I think he picked up an assist in the Chelsea game where Masuaku scored a ridiculous goal. Other than that, he'd done nothing, and then I thought, being clever, I'll go back right on. It was just the fixtures. It's not him, it's the fixtures. And I've watched him in both matches since. Now obviously one of them, I'm not impressed. Like I think I made a mistake. I think there is value in the cheap strikers. I think I could, as Seamus said, he's looking at Bowen's 6 point odds. So say Bowen's maybe max 7 million, and then Antonio's 8. I'm like, no, I want the million less. I'm even a bit more concerned about like West Ham in general, in the sense,
yeah, me too.
Are they maybe tiring?
Guys, just 1 second. I think that I don't think you've made a mistake. I think you played that smart. You got rid of him for the shitty fixtures. You brought him back in, give him a chance. He hasn't actually got into these fixtures yet. I think that Antonio, he gets 1 goal.
But I could have had Gelhardt, Paddy. I could have had Gelhardt this
Gelhardt.
week.
Fuck him. Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, Antonio gets his goal. That's all a striker needs. 1 fucking goal.
I think I almost don't want him to score now, so I can just get rid of him without worrying about it.
Well, that's good news, Paddy, because he has 1 goal in his last, I'm thinking, 10 games or so. So yeah, there's that 1 goal. No, I got him in, like Jer said, I got rid of him on my wildcard in game week 5, and I said, you know what, he's got some decent games coming up. He scored against Leeds. Actually, he didn't have decent. He had a couple of bad games, but he had Brentford and then he had Everton, and I was like, I'll get him in for these, and I'll hold him through Tottenham, Villa and stuff like that. I held him for weeks, and I was in the exact same position Joe was in now, and I was like, you know what, I'd consider going back to him if the stats support it, but they didn't. So
that's twice you've used the stats to your advantage tonight, Seamus, and I don't like it. Where's this
Not me neither.
I did the same last week when I got Foden in as my 1 free transfer rather than going for Bernardo, who's the player du jour. And I was big on Gundo a few weeks back, and I was just like, no, look, I've just kind of missed those points. And he had the he had a back injury. He didn't actually play in game week 17. He came off the bench, and he didn't play in game week 18. So I went with Foden. And did you hear why Foden was dropped?
Is it disciplinary? I did hear there was disciplinary issues. Is he
It
one of them?
It was something attitude or behavior or something like that.
No.
It was mentioned.
Yeah, that's him in the bad books. That's him.
Have we seen Kyle Walker
he's
since he's red? Have we?
He wasn't name checked specifically, but they were asking why he made some changes. Was it just rotation? He said no, not rotation. I keep an eye out for.
He's getting whores again, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something about behavior, and it could have been just that he was going out and meeting friends and not being socially distant or something like that, and he wanted to punish him for that. But he could have been referring to Jack Grealish. I don't know, but Jack Grealish and himself were the only two that didn't start, other than John Stones, who dropped out purely because
Gundogan, was he out?
No, he didn't play the game before either.
He's done.
He could have been talking about Gundogan, but considering Gundogan didn't start,
He looks like a troublemaker.
he looks like our friend Rory Jar.
He does a little bit. He does.
Is Rory a troublemaker?
Rory is the biggest the biggest troublemaker, you know. But
well,
go on. Sorry.
Well then, so it's if you have Antonio, you're keeping him, but you wouldn't bring him in.
I think it's just come out, Paddy, that I'm going to have to get Foden out and get Ronaldo back in for Antonio. That seems to be the obvious move. It's like fuck.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
I mean, Ronaldo, if they do have double game weeks and stuff like that, I mean, let's look ahead to why am I on this thing? Big team. So if we look at this week, who are United playing? They've got a handy fixture, right? Is it
Newcastle, is it?
Newcastle, yeah, on Monday 27th. Like, Ronaldo is, what do you think? Ronaldo is somebody you might want to have this week?
Who, me?
Well, I have him. I'm delighted to have him. Like, that's a great fixture. But I was having in hand over my captaincy, and I think, you know, as I'm always saying, like, I might do these 50-50 captaincies. I think Leeds are just that bad at the back. I can't do that with this fixture. Man. It has to be Salah no matter what. You know the way I was saying, if I see two fixtures and I'm like him and in hand, I'll do that one.
What did you do this week, Paddy?
No. What do you mean?
Who did you transfer? Captain? Yeah. Captain.
Oh no, I didn't make any transfers.
No, sorry, captain.
I'm just my captaincy's on Salah.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
You know the way I was going to try and switch it over just to try and make a few, and it worked there last week with Ronaldo. I had Ronaldo.
Go away with you. It worked. You made 1 point more.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, I made 2. 16, 17, 18,
sure.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It did work.
Yeah, so, fine. You can have it. You can have your technicality.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
But we can't look past Salah this week, can we? Unless you're going to look at Jota or something like that, because you're going to be contrarian. But
Leeds are going to be better. Unless he rests Salah. Will he rest Salah?
Nah, it's a week off.
Yeah, it's a week.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So now fucking...
No, I think Leeds are... Leeds have conceded... Oh, I'm butchering it now, but I saw some tweet today where it was like 18 goals between game week 1 and 12, and then like 20 goals between game week 12 and 16. Do you know, like it was just like an insane amount of goals leaking in the last fucking couple of weeks. Like
it's 14 and 3 anyway.
Well, there you go.
But,
you know.
But Newcastle are leaking goals too. But I mean, Liverpool are at home, so it's just
Liverpool are more cohesive than United at the moment. Yeah. United, especially considering they haven't played games in a couple of days or weeks, you don't know who's got COVID. Maybe Ronaldo's someone who's had a COVID, and his frail 36-year-old body may not be able to recover in time. Who knows?
That's the one thing I think of when I see Ronaldo. The word frail.
Frail old man.
Frail old man Ronaldo.
Frail old man.
Look at him. You can't even pronounce these words properly. He's just running around going into poor old man Ronaldo.
All right. So look, we've talked about Arsenal. Okay, well, we didn't talk about that Arsenal game enough. Okay, because I wanted to know from you, Ger, before we move on to the other fixtures. You took the -12. All right. Were you happy with not necessarily the outcome or the points you got, because I think one of your hit points hits was for Foden, who didn't play, so I'm sure you would say, well, I could have just saved -4 points there automatically. But are you happy that with the outcome? Are you happy with how it worked out? You got to watch these games with more of an interest, more skin in the game.
Yeah, I think you, I am. That's always the the kind of upside is if you can enjoy that game week a little bit more, like in terms of I had a lot of players that I was really invested in this game week, as opposed to just kind of sitting back and going, letting it roll over, like with a Ronaldo hoping to get something in a couple of game weeks. I was going, no, fuck this. like that City match all of a sudden meant something. Like Foden and Ramsdale were my two last transfers. Like so Lacazette for Ronnie, he was coming in because I needed to spread the funds, and then Saka, who I think when you talked about Gallagher to Bone a while ago, I thought to myself I'd be looking a bit closer to like Saka now instead of a Bone. 6.2 million. I think Arsenal are, they've shown all season that they are capable of, kind of delivering results, especially against the non-top 6 teams. They're capable of getting results, and Saka is, he's tipping away, and I'd be looking at him as mid-price option, so I was happy to get him in. And as I said, Foden and Ramsdale, I could look back now and go, why did I do that? But I think, it was like a big team switch. It was like turning my team into a 15-man squad and, kind of getting what I think is the optimum squad at the moment,
Yeah, Ramsdale was fair enough because you had no playing keeper. So,
Yeah.
and, he's like one of those keepers that if he did keep a clean sheet, you could be 10 points down to people. It seemed like a worthwhile hit. Did you sell De Gea for him or your sub keeper?
No, I still have De Gea. I was not making another sub keeper move after we're catching up a bit because of the episode we missed, but the week previous I thought I'll be a good boy and I'll play it safe, and I just did steal to Backman. Went, I have extra in the bank. This is why you do these things, is so you can splurge when the roof needs repairing and it's raining out. I need to suddenly buy this, and I bought Backman, and then the fucking Watford match got called off, and I was like, that's a transfer gone. I could have but I think
that I felt bad for you when I saw that.
You did. You fucking
your only
liar.
move.
You didn't feel bad for me. You were laughing. You were drying up your tears of laughter with your Foden and Mount points.
I can do both. I can feel bad for you and love it.
Actually, let me throw that back to you in regards to Ramsdale. Like you did, I believe, Ramsdale in, so now you have Ramsdale and De Gea. That's a bit gluttonous, isn't it?
Oh, that's a lot of money.
I have to decide. Well, it's only 10 million as opposed to what would I normally have? 8.5.
8.5. That's quite a bit. That's a
lot. Don't try and play that dirty.
Yeah.
But I
it's only 2.5 million.
1.5. But it's one of those ones where I decided I'm happy with just my single premium. I made that decision a couple of weeks ago. In a way, I'm kind of sickened that the United game was called off because I made my bet that was betting against United. Well, not United, but
you
Ronaldo
got lucky.
specifically.
You got lucky that those United games were called off because your bed was about to get rustled.
You're shattered. No, it could have been. But now everyone has sold Ronaldo, so everyone's kind of moving more towards my strategy anyway. I was trying to make moves away from what I knew you were going to do because I'm trying to catch you in our head-to-head league and stuff.
In every league, Sam, is trying to catch me. No offense.
No matter how good Ronaldo's fixtures this week, Salah's is better. And,
I have Salah too.
I was like,
people have Salah too.
But no, I'm just talking about my team structure. So I'm saying I was happy to come away from Ronaldo, and I was like, I've got the extra money, and with all these games potentially being called off, I had no playing keeper last week. I said I might as well do it now this week because what I could have done the week before in game week 16, my transfer that week was to bring De Gea in for Sanchez, and before I pulled the trigger, I thought to myself, should I sell Steele and keep Sanchez so I have 2 playing keepers? And I said to myself at the time, no, you're not going to ever use it. Just stick with it, And then it just meant the week after, game week 17, I had no keeper. So if I'd made that move, I wouldn't have done it this week.
And now you have Ramsdale and De Gea. You're like, oh, I can't move in my house for keepers.
Yeah, De Gea is away to Norwich this week, and Ramsdale's away to Norwich. So Norwich and Newcastle away, like 2 of the best fixtures you're going to have. I can't tell who I'm going to bench. I think I'm going to play Ramsdale because Norwich at least will have some shots, and United, I don't know what they're like defensively. Depending who they have, don't have. At least Arsenal are looking strong recently.
If you have Ramsdale or Backman, what would you do, Seamus? Because I'm in quite a pickle myself here. But Watford away to Wolves and Arsenal away to Norwich.
Oh fuck!
Wolves won't score because they don't have any shots, but then he won't get any save points. So max ceiling is 6 points. I don't know.
So Backman, you're saying?
I go Backman.
Grand.
Yeah, go back.
Reverse psychology, Ramsdale and goals. Easy.
But look, the one player for Arsenal, because you're triple up in Arsenal now, okay? we're talking about Ramsdale. You've got Lacazette. I didn't see the game at the time, but I went back and I watched match today. Lacazette could have had a couple of
Yeah,
goals
you're
himself.
damn right it could have. That's what I said. Like when I was getting a bit of stick on the Saturday night after the minus 12, like blah blah blah, and I was looking at the match and I was like, dude, have you seen this? Like Lacazette. Like I mean, the irony is that the assist he got doesn't look like it should have been an assist. Like from what I saw, I was like, no, he never touched that. That's not an assist. And then the chances he missed, like in the first 10 minutes, he was like true on goal with Mesley, and he fucking made a balls at. So yeah, I think.
And there was also talk that the second goal, where it was the second goal or third goal, Saka's goal, should have been his assist as well, that he didn't get awarded.
That's the thing. Like he was involved. Like he's the reason the ball. Like he won the tackle, or he forced the ball out to Saka, who stuck it. Now, obviously, I was just happy to see Saka get the fucking goal. I was like, oh, I can't have a complete, blank. But yeah, no, I think Lacazette was very unlucky, and I mean, I think Arsenal, and we talked about this a little bit off air. For the likes of ESR owners out there, Smith Rowe, he came off the bench. Paddy, you have Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Smith Rowe came off the bench for the second week in a row and got a goal. And yeah, like I mean, it's I think it's a difficult situation for those owners right now, because I don't think he starts in the next game.
Well, he isn't starting for me. He's being benched this week.
Martinelli, I think we haven't spoken about him yet. 15-point haul, looked excellent. You got Saka. Did you ever consider Martinelli? Because if I was going for one of those players now, it would have to be Martinelli, I think.
But if you were going for one of those players before this week, what would it have been?
I don't know. As I said, it definitely wasn't Smith Rowe.
No, it wasn't Smith Rowe. I was just saying.
I couldn't go to him.
Odegaard, you say, Paddy? Why do you say Odegaard?
Well, I wasn't. Martinelli never came into my thoughts. And if you're looking at Arsenal players, Ramsdale, fair enough. Smith Rowe, he's cheap, he's doing the business, and then you have Odegaard, who's cheaper again and now playing up front. Is he down as a midfielder?
He's a 5.5
playing number 10,
and he's out of position now with Aubameyang fucked into the.
He's not out of position. He's still playing in midfield.
Who?
Odegaard.
Oh, was he? He's
playing the
played
Bruno
up front.
role. No, he's playing Bruno's old role where he's kind of like in the number 10, the most advanced attacking midfielder, kind of behind the striker, but he's pulling all the strings. He does.
So he's like nearly. He's just like right up front, nearly.
It's exactly what you want for a 5.5 midfielder. He's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
My only worry would be, does he lose his spot to a Smith Rowe? Like, is he part of the rotation list? But I don't know that right now. Like, Seamus, you're the one with no Arsenal coverage. Paddy's got 2. I've got Saka. You don't seem interested in them at all, or if you are going somewhere, like Martinelli. Okay, just going back to what you said before Paddy brought up Odegaard, like Martinelli versus Odegaard. Why Martinelli, not Odegaard? They're both the same price-ish.
Just Martinelli's. He's just more exciting. Yeah, he just seems more exciting. I like him more. I think he's got more attacking threat. He's got a double-digit return now this week. I don't think Odegaard has a double-digit return. I think he's more of a creator. Yeah. Although
he's got a few goals. He's got 7 or 8 points this last 2 weeks, hasn't he? He's been on the board.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks.
Odegaard or Martinelli?
Odegaard.
Yeah, but Martinelli scored 3 games in a row now. I didn't think he'd start this week, so I didn't really consider him because he has fitness issues. It's just a lot of games for him to be playing consecutively, and but now there's a week off. He'll play on the 26th, so I would consider him for Gallagher this week maybe, but not Smith. I can't consider Smith Rowe. He's not starting.
And not Saka.
Saka is just. He's kind of one of those boring options FPL wise. He just ticks. He's like Mount last year.
You have Mount this year.
Yeah, but Mount this year's.
He's so different. Yeah,
he's so different, baby. Yeah. But yeah, no. Mount last year, who would just get 6 or 7. He'd get a corner and stuff like that. Saka just seems to, on the eye test, look really good, but he doesn't seem to have double-digit hauls in him. Martinelli looks like he might.
Saka, out of all the Arsenal players, would be the least one I'd want out of Odegaard, Smith Rowe.
Are you serious? Have you watched him play?
No, I'm just telling you.
Every week I've seen him, and I say that as I've seen him every week. I've been watching him for the last maybe 3 games. I've happened to catch the Arsenal matches, and he's involved in nearly everything good that they do. And he's absolutely lethal. I mean, not lethal from
the other lads.
I don't know if Odegaard is as involved as you think he is, and I think Martinelli's at massive risk of Aubameyang coming back, because he will. I know that's up in the air when he'll come back, blah blah. But I think First of all, Martinelli going down with cramp off the pitch did not impress Arteta a couple of weeks back. So I was like, what's going to happen here? But no, I think he's the most likely to lose his position is Martinelli. I think.
Yeah, but Martinelli's got 6 attacking returns in his last 6 games. He played 2 games, game week 1 and game week 2. He played over 70 minutes. Then between game weeks 3 and game weeks 12 inclusive, he played a combined total of 11 minutes. And still got an assist in those 11 minutes actually in over 3 games. But since he's come into the team in game week 13, it's like goal, assist, blank, assist, goal, 2 goals.
Yeah.
I think he's found the reason to keep him out. I mean, it's just that Norwich fixture looks so good. I would imagine he plays Norwich, doesn't play Wolves 2 days later on the Tuesday. Then he plays on the Saturday against City maybe.
That's why I brought up the ESR thing, because I think that's going to be like, obviously he's got his goals 2 weeks in a row, but it's going to be difficult to find his way back into that squad. And I think you're right, James. I think Martinelli, it's kind of his spot to lose at the moment. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit, but I think out of all of them, Saka is the most nailed.
Yeah, he probably is, but they're also cheap as well. It doesn't really matter. Like if I have someone like Saka or if I had Smith Rowe or Martinelli and they get benched, I'm not half as pissed off as I am if Foden gets benched. You know what I mean?
There's some nice options in there.
Yeah.
At the price points.
Anyway, I just didn't like the Lacazette pick too much, even though I knew they smashed Leeds because Leeds are just terrible at the minute with all their injuries, and Rafinha shitting out penalties like I don't know. Like since I sold him, he scored 2 penalties, and and both of them have been to destroy clean sheets against Chelsea and against Liverpool. And it's just like, can people just stop fouling Gelhardt or is it Gelhardt or Gelhardt?
Gelhardt, yeah.
Yeah, can people just stop fouling him? And I don't know, like he's not even their number 1 penalty taker. He's only taking.
I can't believe you got rid of Rafinha, man. I think you've no honor. No honor.
Oh man, the only reason people actually have him is because games are getting postponed and they have other fires. That's the only reason he's still high on.
I still have him because he is one of the most exciting prospects in the Premier League today.
Prospects.
Three penalties in the last 5 games he has. I got one of those, but it's just mad.
I got one as well.
And you both turned your back on him, even though he's the star penalty taker.
Turned my back on him for the legend that is Odegaard.
Leeds were giving away.
You did not, you prick. You got McGinn in.
I can't remember who I brought in from.
McGinn probably.
Bernardo Silva.
McGinn knowing you and then fucking shipped him out the week after.
McGinn then went, yeah.
So so I think we've touched on Arsenal and Leeds, Chelsea and Wolves. There's not a whole lot to say on that. Like we already said, we got our double clean sheets in that. City, Newcastle, or Liverpool, Spurs? What's more important to talk about next?
Liverpool,
not Spurs.
Liverpool, Spurs.
I think we got to talk about the Salah blank. I'm assuming we're all getting rid now.
Yeah, totally. He's gone. I've -4 to mine.
This is damn right, Paddy. This is what's going to get you back into the top 100k.
Yeah, no, he's got AFCON in his head. You know, he's not thinking.
His mind is out. You saw him walking around the pitch like a lost child.
Do we all have Jota? I know, sure, you do. Paddy, do you have Jota?
I have Jota, yeah. Jota, whatever you want to call him, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a bit boring with Liverpool. I think most people everyone has Salah and Trent anyway, and most people have Jota included as well. But Jota, another great header.
What about Spurs then? You know? Like, you're right, it is a bit boring talking about Liverpool, and if someone doesn't have 3, they probably have 2. But what about Harry Kane breaking his duck? Got a goal this week. Is that we all ploughing on the Kane train now?
Well, he had the most shots in the box this week as well.
Did he?
6.
Nice.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't even know that. That's interesting to know. But I mean, what is interesting is Spurs fixtures, not so much Harry Kane.
Watch your back, Sheila. I'm coming for you.
Look at their fixtures though. Next 3 are Crystal Palace at home, Southampton away, Watford away.
Ooh. And that Watford match coincides with a horrible week for captaincy. If you're looking at the likes of Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, it's a pretty manky week.
Yeah, I mean that's not just for Harry Kane, but for Son. I mean, no, I can't. So I mean, Kane did look all right, but only because Spurs were playing on the counter-attack, and he was just kind of getting chances. But yeah, Son, almost set up Ali. He's still on corners and stuff like that. Son to be where I'd be looking for.
Son missed a sitter this week. I mean, like I only saw a couple of replays, but it was hard to tell how much of it was him missing a sitter or how much of it was a difficult chance. But like there was a couple of opportunities for Sonny Boy to return.
But then he gets his usual kind of piss easy goal where the keeper makes a fuck up, where he shoots from distance and the keeper is just not paying attention, or the keeper comes out, slides, and misses the ball completely. And that goal knocked me out of the cup, the FPL Cup this week.
Better off. You need to focus on your overall team, Seamus.
Just on Son as well, he had the three biggest chances of the week as well.
That's my bad.
Really? Yeah. The XG and the one he actually scored must have been pretty high anyway. But yeah, look, they did look much better. They looked cohesive and like they actually had a game plan. So that was interesting to note. I mean, if you're not going to go for Kane or Son or anything like that, their other assets might appeal. Although Reguilon didn't play.
But he did come on.
So yeah, he did. Would you think, who would interest you from defence there, if anyone?
I think Ben Davies. I think Ben Davies. Yeah. I think he's what's the price point of Davies there?
It's like 5 point something.
Yeah, he's pretty cheap. I
I
mean,
think it's 5.0, 5.1.
Yeah, he's actually like when he makes those runs, like we've already seen. Did he have a goal ruled out and he got an assist or something like that? And he's been pretty active in the last few weeks. But he's 4.5. He's 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5, 2% owned. He's got 2 assists in game week 15, and he seems nailed since Conte has come into the hot seat. He's played every minute. So I mean, for 4.5 to Spurs defense, like that's like especially if someone's looking at maybe the likes of. Well, how could you get rid of Cody? The man's keeping you up with Trent, Petty. But like the likes of Alonso, Livermento, exactly. Alonso, that double Chelsea clean might be something people would try to wean themselves off. You know, with the doubles, we don't know where we're going to go, but Spurs have a few lined up, and yeah, a 4.5 for Davies would be where I'd be looking defense wise. But I think you're also right. Like we've said it a million times with Son, 10.3. He's always an option. If you ask me.
Yeah, he just shits out points. He just gets these, but he scored his last 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Or granted, like 14, 15, and 18. There was no 16 or 17. But yeah, Brentford goal.
The history
Norwich,
books won't note that, Seamus.
Yeah, 7 goals, 3 assists. Like he's still on target for like a 14, 15 goal season here, with 6 or 7 assists. So, and if you think Spurs are going to get better, then probably have more goals in the second half of the season. So someone to consider. Maybe someone might come off of Mount for, maybe not this week, although it mightn't be a bad week to do it, but soon.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the teams the double game week, like we kind of touched on it a while ago, and for those watching on YouTube, I've put up a bit of I've robbed this from Twitter from. The only one worth robbing stuff from Ben Crellin, and he's got like a potential double game week, and looking at Spurs there, Arsenal, Leicester, it's not overly overly appealing, but the next 3 game weeks, like you can really target them, I think, in FPL terms. No.
I can't see the screen.
Oh yes, sorry.
But we're taking it that they're good fixtures.
No, well, I mean, in general, Spurs fixtures are pretty good, and I'm just saying the fact that they also have a double is where I'm kind of leaning.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, you're talking about Spurs, and specifically, yeah. I was like, who can we target?
I keep forgetting that.
Spurs, Spurs we can target definitely. It just kind of involves a bit of a jiggery pokery for me. I mean, I'm really happy with my midfield now, which is like Salah, Jota, Foden, Mount, and Gallagher. But look, Gallagher.
You got it right 2 seconds ago.
I know.
Gallagher.
I could become, as I said, Bowen. It could become Martinelli. I don't know. And then I got to consider if I want to get Ronaldo in again. My strikers are all cheap, and I'm happy enough with that. You
said 2 weeks ago, and I quote the Raven, "Fuck premium strikers. If I ever want to get them back in, you have permission to come in and set my house on fire." That's what you said.
That's true. So yeah, you're right. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go against them, and if I want to get.
The only reason I stuck with Ronaldo that long, Seamus. I was like, if Seamus is going this way, I'm going that way. I was like, fuck this.
No, I'm happy with my midfield. I said Mount is somebody I just took a short term kind of 3 or 4 week gamble on there, because I was also of the opinion that, well, if I can't move him, if I have other fires to put out, he's the sort of player I'm happy to just let roll in there, even in tougher fixtures, because he'll be on some set pieces and things like that, Yeah. And he's just a good player. In fact, the tougher the fixture, the more likely he is to play, because he's considered an important player. like those Liverpool and Man City games that are coming up. So, but like I'll have to get rid of him by 24, 25 where Chelsea blank anyway. And chances are I'll probably want to get rid of him in 21 because they go Liverpool, City, Spurs, blank, blank. So he's really only kind of for the 2 game weeks or 3 game weeks I've had him plus the next 2. He'd be gone 21. So that coincides with Spurs having a good 21, right? Didn't they have a good? You said it was good captaincy option there for Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs in game week 21 have an away match to Watford.
Yeah.
So like,
I can't imagine myself not having Son for Mountain that week.
Oh, this is big words. Big words that I don't think he'll deliver on.
I'll have to free up a bit more funds. I'll probably have to sell one of my keepers by then, back down. But sure, whatever. Wild cards. I don't know.
Somehow I think we've managed to discuss all 4 matches from last week.
Wow.
We managed to get through them all, guys. I don't know how.
We didn't discuss how good Cancelo was.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Or
going to
the those who captained Cancelo versus those who didn't.
Or
what
that
you make?
penalty decision.
What penalty decision?
Oh, Ederson should have
Ederson.
Oh yeah, that was such a fucking joke.
Fucking crazy, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not complaining.
But you hear
As
their
an
did you hear
FPL
their excuse? Oh, Cancelo had the ball. Cancelo was in possession. What are you talking about? He just
Yeah,
slid
I
in
don't
and
understand
cleaned him out of it.
And not to go way off on a tangent here, but like what about Robertson as well and Kane?
We're
Like,
not, oh, stop. We could be
right. No, but it's fucked.
Vara's just had a shocker this weekend. Vara's
Yeah.
the last couple of weeks is just
Yeah.
they've tried changing things and it's gone back as it had actually. Vara had been actually very good this year, and now it's gone bad again. It's just terrible decisions.
Yeah, I don't know.
But as it far, why didn't the ref check it? The ref didn't decide not to check.
The ref
the,
saw it
the
and he
Harry
decided-
Kane one. And then he decided to check the Robertson one. So like,
But he's
No.
told to check that. They reviewed it on the VAR ref
I don't
reviewed
know.
it and said there's nothing to check on the Kane one, but then he said there might be another, which I didn't get, but anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, again, that City clean sheet had that penalties being scored and being awarded and scored, I would be through in the cup again.
But alas.
Shanghaied by some guy with 6 players. Oh.
Oh, stop. I went out 2 weeks ago, so as far as I'm concerned, all of this, like,
the cup was on.
yeah, no, everyone's going on about the cup lately. It's like, oh, the cup. And I'm just like, fuck off. It's
Where the
just,
fuck's the
I'm
cup?
out of it. I don't care. It doesn't count.
Until I get in like 4, 5, 6 rounds that I don't really care. But this week I kind of looked at it and kind of went, oh, this guy's only got like 6 players. I should beat this guy handily. But he had DS who scored, and I think everyone he had actually scored. That Sun goal is what knocked me off, though.
Paddy, you got knocked out of the cup in game week 16. So,
For fuck's
there you
sake.
go. But
Just
what I
so
do
much-
like about, just while we were talking about the cups, James, is that, like, I didn't know if this was there before. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But, like, the fact that there's, like, all these little cups, for leagues and stuff this year, kind of pre-planned.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I'm in the Man United Cup still.
Yeah.
There's an Irish Cup. There's a Man United Cup. Things like that.
They all start at different dates depending on how many is eligible to be in it. Like, so, like, the Irish Cup probably doesn't start till towards the end of the season. There's if it's a small mini league you're in with maybe 6 to 10 lads, they all kind of start at the end. Now, that's all pretty cool, I think.
That is really cool. Did not even know about that.
There's a Valhalla Cup, Paddy. Do you not know that?
I didn't. I just see it there now. It hasn't started yet or anything though. So
Yeah, so-
that's pretty cool.
How come there's no Hangover podcast Cup? We got to get on that.
is
There
there not?
has to be.
I'm pretty sure they said we weren't allowed because of what we put in the cup last time. Who knew? Who knew that fucking ayahuasca was going to have such detrimental effects to certain people? I mean, I thought we were all in for a good time.
Oh fuck's sake!
But come on, Seamus, you've got your game face on. What's next?
What's next? I was just going to. You were talking about cups, and I was thinking about our mini league, and it got me thinking about how the manager of the month is going.
Oh, really? I haven't thought about it. I haven't even looked at it.
Are you not ready to start shipping your cup there across to Bangladesh to our good friend Nuclear Adams or whatever he's called right now?
I am more than prepared to ship this wherever it needs to go. But yeah, I would be more than happy to also ship it to Bangladesh. Fuck me, I didn't think that was going to happen when I set this thing up. But yeah, I have it up on the screen there for anyone on YouTube. But for those listening, the Manager of the Month competition that we announced a couple of weeks back, that's been going smoothly. And yeah, our very own Nuclear Atoms, those who are regulars to the show will be familiar with him. He's absolutely killing it in the month of December, and he's sitting aloft with 286 points. There is only, 10 points, 11 points between him and second place, and there's 2 game weeks to go. So
There's-
it's not wrapped up.
There's still at least 2 game weeks. Is there 3 game weeks? There's 26, 28. Yeah, there's 2 more full game weeks to go. So it could all change, but he's in a great position. Great
He
position.
is, and he did ask me, actually, just going to pull this up on my phone. He asked me to pass this along to Paddy. He said, "Tell Paddy to shove it," after saying that I definitely wasn't going to win the December Manager of the Month.
Well, he hasn't won it yet.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he might get another chance for me to say this. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if he doesn't win it, I expect you to go to retort with an equally.
Well, I shall wait. Do we get another podcast before? No, this is the last one before Christmas and all that, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
yeah, although
unless we want to
get
pod
that-
on the 27th, because like it goes, the game week 19 is the 26th and 27th. Then game week 20 is the 28th, 29th, and 30th. And game week 21 is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So there's like, that's why it was important to get this pod in, because the turnaround is insane.
It is, and we won't make any promises right now. And we might get another pod in, but this is definitely the Christmas pod.
Yeah.
I was supposed to put up the decorations in the studio, but cannot find the files. That's not even a joke. I was like, where are all the decorations from last year?
Hello.
And, well, you are.
At least
the
I
decoration.
fucking represented. By the way, before we it feels like we're wrapping here nearly, but like
We still got the full league to go through. But
yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, I wanted to look at next week because I have so many questions myself about the next game week 19. Like I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I mean, like, I'm thinking I'm rolling a transfer for a start. I'm thinking I'm benching. I think I've got my bench okay. Smith Rowe benched for sub because I'm starting Odegaard over him. Cody benched against Watford. Livramento.
You're gonna, but would you? Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, go on.
It's a tough one. Well, like my three defenders are James, Alonso, and Cancelo. Okay. Midfield: Salah, Bernardo, Jota, Odegaard, and up front: Dennis, Ronaldo, Antonio. So that leaves me with Smith Rowe, Cody, and Livramento subs.
You're gonna have a big benching headache next week.
I kind of have one already. Like, I mean, like, I would love to start Smith Rowe against Norwich, double up. I'd love to start Cody against Watford.
Smith Rowe's not going to start against Norwich.
I think
wouldn't-
I'm at ease nearly playing him on the bench.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if the prick comes off and scores 3 goals in 3 weeks,
I deserve it.
from the bench, then you deserve it.
Because
Yeah.
I've got to
But
games.
yeah, I think like there's so much shit that could happen between now and then. I would just be happy that you have those decisions in regards to rolling your transfer. Because I mean, looking at your team right there, you are rolling it. There's nothing you
Yeah,
need to
I'm happy.
massively do. And I'm the same. I have no transfers I need to make. Seamus, you seem pensive. Any ponderings?
I've benching headaches too, but like they're not, like I don't have the best options for this week. I could easily roll, and it might actually be the wisest move. But there are moves I could make, like getting the likes of Martinelli in against Norwich, or Saka or whatever. But yeah, and I could go for like Bowen against Southampton. There's players target. So at the minute, my bench, I'll tell you my team at the minute. So I have either De Gea or Ramsdale on goals, probably Ramsdale, I imagine. Then I've got, although I might go De Gea just to have some involvement on the 27th, because I've no one in that game otherwise. Then I've got, Trent, James, and Rudiger, although I don't really love having double Chelsea against Aston Villa, but I've made that mistake of benching Rudiger in the past, and Becker goes off and scores.
And you didn't get punished by it, so why would you get punished by it again?
But if I got punished again, that would be on me. So I've got Cancelo. I got Cancelo against Leicester, Foden against Leicester too. Which if he is being punished, maybe he doesn't play, and that kind of solves one of my benching spots. Salah and Jota, Aston Villa, Mount against Aston Villa, Gallagher against Spurs, which isn't a great game, but he seems to be playing more advanced now again in midfield, and
Thanks to Will Hughes.
Yeah, thank you, Will Hughes, coming in here and doing a job in midfield, and then he also got like 2 assists against him and had like a man in the match performance the last time he played Spurs. So I kind of feel like I should probably play him, but I don't know. That, as I said, I could easily see that being Martinelli next week. I'm kind of tempted. He's the nice, exciting pick, but could easily then lose his place.
Well, Mount's going to be Son by game week 21, so you need to start making that money now, Seamus.
Yeah, and then I've got like to choose between like one forward that's playing a 4-5, and then one forward between King, Dennis, and Tony. So King and Dennis both play Wolves, who we know have a good defense.
Yeah.
Then you've got Tony, who's away to Brighton. So I think if
Who also has a good defense.
no,
you know.
yes, but if
Come on, they're as good
Brighton's
as
are
Wolves.
riddled with injuries and stuff at the moment. So depending on what's happening there, because I think is Duffy still suspended?
No, he's back. He's back.
Did he not? Like?
No, he's back.
Okay.
He served his suspension.
I thought like the game he was going to serve it in got called off, so he's still suspended.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Actually, you're right. Maybe I'm wrong with that. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah,
we'll get onto the fact check right after the show.
Yeah, if they're really riddled, then Tony against Brighton might be the way to go. But anyway, Livermento's last on my bench, but I've got to decide to play like one of King, Tony, or Dennis. I could be a bit risky and bench Foden. If I think he's not going to play, I'll listen out to the press conferences. But I just assume.
What do you think of that Leicester City match? What do you like? I mean, we've kind of we barely touched on the City match anyway. We referenced Cancelo a bit, but I think in general, like we saw what happened last year. From November on, City kicked into gear. It could be that's what's about to happen again. And yeah, is double Man City an option defensively instead of double Chelsea? Do you think that's maybe where people that are looking at doubling up should go instead of Chelsea now?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest. It's just really hard to sell James or Rudiger when they're kind of like James has got that like great attacking trait. I don't really want to sell him. But Rudiger I've had since, whatever game week 5. I got him at 5.5. He's now up to 6.2. You can see the attacking trait even when they don't, like, he got 5 points this week from a clean sheet and a yellow, but a couple of weeks back when they beat Leeds 3-2, like he got 2 assists and 9 points. So
yeah, but didn't he win 2 penalties?
Yeah, I know. But like he's got 2 goals, 3 assists from 18 games so far and 8 clean sheets. So that's 13 returns from 18 games. Is he really a priority? I think, yeah. I mean, that Aston Villa game is kind of hard, but could be nil. It'll depend on what the press conferences reveal. Like if they are really struggling with injuries still, then yeah. And if with Kante back, I just feel like I just want to keep him.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think
I should have went doubled up and fucking like Diaz is just hitting me in the face now instead of Alonso. But I'm probably getting bogged down on my own shit too much there. Leicester City though, like, do you see what score do you see scoreline do you see in that chance?
I'm not really being impressed with Leicester this season, but they have been better the last couple of games, at least when their games have been on. So let's just pull up their most recent result. I think what it was that 4-0 against Newcastle kind of made it look like, oh, you know what, they're back. Because Tielemans returned in that game. But before that, they lost to Villa away. They drew with Southampton away. They beat Watford 4-2, but that's Watford. Then they lost 3-0 to Chelsea. I think they'll probably... I was going to say...
They're going to get hammered or are they going to put up a fight? That's really what I'm asking.
I was going to say I think they get smashed. But
really?
yeah, but they only lost 1-0 to City earlier. But I think City are in the groove now.
Rodgers kind of knows how to play against the big teams as well, though. Sometimes that's something I've kind of maybe that's a fallacy, but fair enough. Paddy, what about you? You think City Leicester going to put up a fight?
No, I think City's going to just fucking roll them over like the shitty team they are this season. I just don't feel as far as options are. I'm not looking at them. I'm quite happy with what I have. I know.
Do you have any City at the moment? You have Cancelo.
Yeah, I have Cancelo and I have Bernardo Silva.
Oh, you're covered. So
yeah,
you have your bit.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I was going to say this. I wasn't going to ask what City asset do you think is a must-have because it's probably in the defense like Cancelo or Diaz. But what midfielder do you think is the one to have at the minute?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, like you're asking 2 Foden owners.
Yeah, but would you not? Are you happy with? I mean, not with the news coming in, but I mean, come on,
I think I would rather Foden and then no City. That's. I'm like, I'll either go with what I think is their premium option when he plays, which is Phil Foden. Obviously, KDB is there, but he's way too expensive.
Too expensive, yeah.
So Foden is, I think, their best option when he's playing. But I'm also happy to just not have a City player. Just go, some weeks it'll be this, some weeks it'll be that. Sterling's getting some fucking points now. He's kicking back into gear. I know I'm not advocating Mahrez, but he did also return this week. Jesus is tipping away for a forward position. There's points to be found in the team for sure. But I'm also happy to just take my chances and not have any. What about you, Seamus?
Yeah, I said the same earlier this season. I was like, I don't think I'm going to go with any. I did a U-turn on it, of course. I said other than Cancelo, can't see myself going for any of these city
Or
midfielders.
Diaz, Cancelo Diaz, like that
Yeah,
defense thing.
Diaz too, because
Yeah,
it just
the
seems like
defense is okay. The midfield.
yeah, definitely because Diaz has a bit of attacking threat anyway. Last season at least he did. Yeah, I
Scored this week.
my feelings on it because I went off and I transferred him in, and Paddy, you asked the question. I was like, well, Jer obviously feels Foden too because he got him last week when he could have got one of the other guys. But this is the fact he just didn't play the last day, and Pep has alluded to some attitude or behavioral potential problems. Now, is that like something small, and he was just like, I didn't like your attitude.
I'm gonna blame the rat face kid instead.
Maybe he's just like I didn't like the way you were kind of late for training, or I didn't like the effort you're putting in training, or something like that. I didn't like that you went out to a Christmas party last week, and I know we didn't specifically say not to, but whatever.
But we did with our eyes.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like, it might have just been a 1-game punishment. He's back in for Leicester, but they don't need to change anything. So he can just roll the same team. And like you said, Sterling is in gear now, and so is De Bruyne a bit. So yeah, I could, like Victor said, I could easily go without him. I'll happily keep Foden, and if he doesn't play any minutes and I get King and Dennis, although I don't know if I want 2 strikers against Wolves. I think I'm going to have to choose between King and Dennis. That's going to be a hard one, and maybe have
to have to wait and see if the AFCON is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think we're all going to be here in the second or third week of January going, we need to get Raheem Sterling right now?
Oh Jesus, no!
If he keeps the run of form up that he's on,
oh fuck,
we're definitely going to be going shit.
He's still too pricey as well, isn't he? He's like,
but if he was delivering what he's delivering now, and we know that he's capable of it, like whether the stats of this season back it up or not, we know what Sterling is as an FPL asset. He is potential. He's always the potential to suddenly jump back on the radar. Do you know?
Yeah, 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 7 games. That's good. That's 5 returns in there, but like 1 double-digit haul in there. So his price is 10.6. You're getting
not as bad as I thought, actually.
Yeah, you're getting 8s, 3s, 5, 7, 11, 0. 8. So you're getting kind of 7, 8.
But if he keeps it up, I mean, all of a sudden those numbers look a lot bigger.
But you're also getting doubt.
Yeah, that's true.
You're also getting doubt for that money. I want to know my player starting. That's one of the reasons why I'm actually asking the question as well. Except Bernardo Silva, and that's another reason why I'm ruling the transfer, because I'm thinking about happy to have Bernardo for this week. Maybe having the double transfer, the 2 transfers, there's a few pound tied up in them. I might look elsewhere.
I think Silva, I don't think you ever have to fear not having a Bernardo Silva. That's the thing in my head. Like, I mean, Gundogan for a time last year became, as close to essential as you'd ever really see in FPL. But I think like this year, even with Silva's constant returns, I never felt like I was getting fucked for not having him. I was like, yeah, someone else has delivered, and I have Gallagher or Rafinha. Do you know what I mean? There was options that were kind of covering them anyway. So I think that is definitely something you could put in the back pocket. But rolling the transfer this week could be massively beneficial. I'm
quite happy to do it. I have the players I think that people want to bring in. I have Ronaldo. I'm not saying people want to bring in Antonio, but I'm happy to have him for these fixtures.
The fixtures are insane.
Yeah. I'm delighted. I'm quite happy to roll the transfer. I'll be rolling the transfer. Captaincy's on Sal, no brainer.
Yeah, if I was Jura with triple Arsenal, I'd be happy too.
Yeah, Norwich.
Yeah.
Spurs against Palace. That'll be a good game, but it's not going to be like a walkover for Spurs. Palace are good now. West Ham and Southampton would be tighter.
Are you saying Sorry to jump in there, Chips. Are you saying that you would potentially bench Foden against Leicester and play Gallagher against Spurs?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. As in, like,
it sounded like I was absolutely shocked that idea.
At the minute, I'm playing all 5, but if I want to, like, if I think Foden's going to be on the bench, then maybe I just bench him myself. Is my thought,
Double punishment, double jeopardy for Phil.
It's one of those weeks, isn't it? It's a spicy one.
I don't think I'm triple Chelsea, and I don't think that Villa game is very good. There's a lot of tight games. Yeah.
But I mean, like, your triple Chelsea, I'm with you. Double defense against Villa, you're never going to feel overly confident on, because I do think they can get a goal out of somewhere now. with Gerrard in there. I think he just kind of, he goes for it sometimes. You've seen that. But Mount also, like I'd be happy enough to have an away match against Villa.
I'm gonna let it roll. Chelsea haven't been playing very well. They've been dropping points lately. So yeah, I'm not, like, I don't expect too much out of it. But yeah, what did I get? 5, 8, 14 points this week for my 3 Chelsea players. Considering their prices, no one's really expensive there. Mount is the most expensive player I have in that team. The rest are, I got for under 6. So yeah, they're proven value at least. But yeah, I might roll and reassess. The one move I might make might be Gallagher to Martinelli.
Martinelli is making quite a case for himself at the moment. I will say that. And not having any Arsenal attacking output must be a little bit like, I wouldn't say frustrating, but there's definitely probably a bit of an itch there, as you said, like kind of, at the weekends you were looking at someone's got a bit of ESR, Odegaard, Saka, there's something there, Martinelli now as well. So yeah, I get it.
That's it. And I like, up to now, it was like a couple of weeks ago with my city midfielder, or I had no city midfielder. I was like, I think I need one of these city midfielders, but I don't know who. And they've got Leeds coming up here, and I'm going to go with Foden. And Foden got me a nice haul. And, okay, yeah, Martinelli's done it for Leeds already and got 3 goals in his last 2 games. But I am kind of looking at it like, do I want one of these Arsenal midfielders? I don't know which to go for. They've got 4 of them playing well. That's why I was never really high on Laka. I was like, getting an Arsenal player, I'll get one of these scoring midfielders. But now I think Martinelli's sticking his neck out in the front of the queue saying, yeah, it should be me.
It should, and
he's also the cheapest.
He is, and you know what? He is making a really good case for it should be me, and Aubameyang can go fuck himself. In general, I don't know. But yeah, Paddy, anything left? Any questions regarding Game Week 19? Anything else?
Just after you start talking there, like I'm starting to put doubts. I nearly really want to double up on it, mate, with my Arsenal in that Norwich game. But
you are doubled up. You have ESR.
No, I know, but I have ESR on the bench. Like,
oh yes, sorry, I get you.
Should I keep him on the bench? I'm even thinking of maybe starting Cody over Dennis.
That's a tough shout. Do Watford breach? Wolves. What do you think, Seamus?
2 clean sheets.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have 2 Watford strikers, so you obviously are open to that Watford can. But,
but like, they've been so good. They've got they've got 1, 2, 5 clean sheets in their last 7. Wolves. They're not conceding a whole lot of goals, and the 2 games they didn't keep clean sheets was Liverpool and Man City, where they conceded a goal each. So.
Yes, that's a big call for me. Like, I'm thinking of actually starting Cody over Dennis, and then maybe I don't start Cody over Dennis. Maybe I go ESR over Dennis. But
I don't think I would say ESR, Paddy, just based on assuming the team news comes in that all is well. I don't think ESR starts, and I really But
does he not deserve a start? Like,
who do you replace? Who do you replace?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can Martinelli, Odegaard, Lacazette, and Saka. They've all been great. So, he deserves to start as much as any of the rest of them. I just don't think you can. I think for sure ESR probably will get the game that comes right after it. And maybe he does get his start. Maybe they give Martinelli the game after it, but. I wouldn't fancy. I just think ESR owners have been fucking fluky the last couple of weeks. For him to come off the bench in both games and get points is insane. Seamus, you can tell him he's hating it.
Even he's my most frustrating player I don't own this season. Even the games he has started, just the goals he gets are just these really low. Look, he's got the goal against United. The keeper's down injured on the ground. Okay, whatever.
Oh yeah, that was a real.
Whatever you want to say about how injured he was or whatever, there was no keeper in the goals and he shot and it just went in. De Gea standing up, he just catches it in his arms. Doesn't even have to dive. Other goals there, he kind of does this thing where he just runs. It kind of gets to a point where he's no other options really other than take a shot, and he takes a shot and it just trickles right into the corner. Good shots. But the other times I see the keepers just kind of flat-footed and look and go, oh, it's gone into the corner. I'm like, fucking dive, you cunt.
Well, was it West Ham where he came on? It was West Ham 2 weeks ago, and you were just
putting it through
the legs, stuck in the bottom right corner or bottom keeper's left, and I don't know. I thought
he reminds me of Dele Alli.
I have Smith Rowe since game week 7.
That's why you're flying up the ranks, Paddy.
And the one game I benched him in was game week 9, and he got 13 points.
Oh yeah.
So don't fucking chat.
All right, well then
You're
play
benching-
him then.
benching
Play him again. Play him.
I'll give you an idea though. So you're talking about the Cody one, okay?
Yeah.
This was something I looked at when I brought in King a couple of weeks ago. Like as good as or as attacking as Watford are, and yes, some of these stats are going to be I'm about to present you in a moment, or before Ranieri
I'm
arrived.
excited.
They played 16 games because their last couple have been cancelled or postponed. 16 games. Of those 16 games, they failed to score in 7 of them. They are a team that can just blank. They can be held.
Cody's going in. Cody over Dennis.
You know, but now a lot of those have been before Ranieri came in. So Ranieri came in. Ranieri came in game week 8, and before he arrived, they blanked in 4, but they blanked in 3 of the whatever games, 8 games since he's arrived.
Well, I'll be damned.
So
I'll tell you what, you've made my. I'm going Cody, right?
Seamus, bench both your Watford strikers.
I'm going with me gut. I'm going Cody, right? And not only that,
Captain
Seamus, it'll be
captain,
incredible. It'll be incredible the next podcast when we're on and you start your double Watford.
Yeah.
It could be if we did that and it was a real hangover face-off where I played King and Dennis against your Cody.
Jesus.
We should do that every week.
Nice.
We have mini battles within the battle. Yeah. But look, before we wrap it up, I do want to bring it back to the mini league. We touched on the December manager of the month, but there is also the little matter of the overall manager. And looking at the current standings, there hasn't been much change in the top spot. There hasn't been any change, actually. Donny's Duds Donal, he's still smashing it. He's still up in the pole position, 1268. He is joined by PSG, Steve Horn, FPL Fairy, friend of the show, 1216. So there's still a fucking good chunk between Donny's and second place, but he's making a good game of it. In third place, we got Las Vegas FC, Clad Tour. Fourth place, Can't Score, Won't Score, Jack Gwynn. Fifth place, Baker's Beauties, Martin Baker. Sixth place, Spreadsheet Warrior, Scott Kent. Harold Crosser, Simon Duty, your man in Mexico, Gavin Doyle, Emil Smith, Joe, Jack Spalding, and in 10th place, the Rubber Duckies, Peter Ovington. So that's the top 10. And yeah, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, anyone that is also the overall manager is also going to get a little something from us at the end of the year. I don't know if I said that on air. I think I did, but I meant it. Yeah, so congrats to Donny and fair play to Nuclear, as you mentioned earlier on, for kicking it in the manager of the month. But we're about ready to wrap it up. Any holiday messages you'd like to send out to people, Seamus?
No, I'm good.
Fuck.
No, we'll say, are we a secular pod? Do we acknowledge, Christmas? Cause
I think the pagan in me still likes to celebrate Christmas.
Before we do, can I acknowledge the 7 Martinelli owners in your league?
No.
Please.
Yeah.
That's fair play, yeah. 7.
I want Mike Halpin, Jamie Kerley, Twoodley 22, Alan Dugan, Liam Evans, Conk, and Andrew Kennedy. Well fucking done. Best differentials. I want to shout out to Richard Everson, FPL Dad, the most points in the bench in the league, with 6. How does that happen this game week?
He used the free hit. That's why.
There you go. That's all I wanted to say. And Christmas, yeah, I'm all about Christmas, so I'm just going to say Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy the holidays. Be safe. If you're driving home or any of that shit, God bless. Love you. Can't wait to see you next year.
Excellent. Seamus?
Ditto.
He's perfect.
No, happy holidays. All that jazz. Enjoy your Christmas. Go get drunk and yeah. See you in the new year.
There's
Don't worry about
24
FPL.
cans of Lidl and 24 cans for €17 in Lidl.
That's right.
Yeah, 24 cans again is
Yeah.
€17. Make sure you stock up on that, only for the Republic of Ireland listeners. I iterate the sentiments of the lads. Enjoy your Christmas. Don't worry too much about FPL. Just enjoy the fucking time of year. And most importantly, God bless.